Hey everyone, this is Camford15 back at you with another video, and this is going to be mostly for Bears fans and stuff like that. But if you want to check it out, just to get my thoughts on, this week's game or this Sunday's game for the Bears and the Broncos. You can still check this out. But anyways, I'm making this video, Tuesday night, the night after Monday Night Football. So in the little things that I saw and the little things that I've heard from the Raiders Broncos games, I will be talking a little bit about for this, week 2 preview. I was debating on doing these, but I'm just gonna make probably these preview videos and things that the Bears should do, to try to go out there and get a W this Sunday against the Denver Broncos, more importantly against their former defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio. So right now, this will more probably be uploaded Thursday, because I have to, go to a football game with, my team to help out, and stuff like that. So I won't be able to post this Friday. So Thursday, this video will be going up, while this video has been recorded on Tuesday. But other than that, let's get into this video, and let's get into this. So Bears, they're 0-1. They came off a very, disappointing to awful night from the offense, and as well as the defense. They showed out, they came to play and stuff like that. So this upcoming Sunday, we will be playing the Denver Broncos, and going up against our former defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio. Now this can be one of those trap games, and I'm just gonna be, frank. If we do not see, or if we see somewhat of the similar elements from week 1 to week 2, I'm not going to be saying we're in trouble, but we're gonna have to be, I say, a little concerned. If we had won the Packer game, I think this is one of the games that could have been a trap game. A game that can catch the team by surprise, and they might end up losing this game. I'm still from the standpoint of, from last week, or last Thursday, of well, if our offense literally did next to nothing, it's only going to be easy pickings for Vic Fangio and his defense to, literally shut our offense down. Now, I'm gonna get into, certain, things on the, mostly just defense and offense. I really have nothing to say about the special teams. I thought last week the special teams played pretty good last week. So there's nothing really to say. The only thing I have to say for, special teams is, if we're in a tightly close game and there's a field goal, you can attempt to make a field goal, Nagy, have the balls to go kick that field goal. You got Eddie Pinheiro for a reason. In a preseason game, he made a plus 50-yarder in a preseason game. Don't give me that crap why, he's not in our range and stuff, and, we felt comfortable going on a 4th down and 10. I don't care. Kick the field goal. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going to get to the offense and Nagy later, but I'm going to start off with the defense. The defense, from the little things I saw in the Denver Broncos Raiders game, because I couldn't stay up all night to see that game. But the one thing I saw, especially when the game started off, is that the Raiders got pressure on Joe Flacco, and for some time I saw them shut down the run. I don't know how they did for the rest of the game when it came to them stopping the run and stuff like that. but it was good to see that, okay, so the Denver offensive line has some cracks, and it's going to be the same game plan, as they did with Aaron Rodgers. Get pressure on Joe Flacco. Don't let him stand in the pocket too much to, throw the ball, because I think their, highest receiver yesterday was Cortland Sutton, who had 7 receptions for 120 yards, and they still lost. And Joe Flacco, he went 21 for 31 for 268 yards passing and 1 TD. Now, you know, um, it's like I said for the defense, it's the same game plan. Get pressure on Joe Flacco. Do not give him that time to throw. Make him feel uncomfortable to throw, or to, get into a drop and throw the ball. And, stop the run. It's another thing. I forgot their, running, the Broncos running back's name, but Philip Lindsay. So do your best to stop like Philip Lindsay from getting rush yards and stuff like that, and just stop the run. Be the Bears. Be the stingy Bears run defense they've been for last year, the first game, and a couple of the last years where we were stingy up front. Stop the run. It's not really a hard game plan for really the linemen to get their job done, get pressure and stuff like that. And Chuck Pagano will be dialing up some things to get pressure on Joe Flacco, because we do not want Joe Flacco to sit back and have time to throw. So it's easy game plan for the defense. Another thing I'd probably have to say for the defense is one, I would say, if your linemen do not get to the, quarterback fast enough, don't give up the deep play. For some reason, Bears DBs have a bad habit of giving up a deep, passing play for almost plus, 10 yards, or, even sometimes plus 20 yards. Really, that one play action pass went literally almost like 50 yards, that Aaron Rodgers threw. That was really the only play that we got beat on, and that led to the Packers' only touchdown. You take that away, it's probably that game might as well would have probably went into overtime. It would have been 3-3. That was the only time the Packers scored because of that drive. And mostly, that also had to do with like a little substitution that they took out Clinton Dix for Deion Bush, and that's, I guess, another thing I can say. Don't substitute guys unless it's really the linebacker position or the D line position. Your DBs, I say, need to stay out there and start, because in my opinion, I think the only way Fuller, Amukamara, Eddie Jackson, and Clinton Dix should come out of the game is if they're hurt. I really think that there was no reason that Deion Bush should have came in. So I advise no DB substitution. Now, I don't care about linebacker substitutions and D-line substitutions, but as for the DBs, I don't want to see no substitutions, because for some reason, when Clinton Dix was in, Aaron Rodgers literally did next to nothing. But when they put Deion Bush in, they found a weak point. Stuff like that. That's the same thing. Really, DBs just don't get beat by the big play. Cover good, and especially don't have, a receiver going for 120 yards receiving. That'd be totally unacceptable. Don't allow that to happen and stuff like that. But as for the defense, it's a simple game plan. Do the same thing you did week 1 with like key, with like key fixes and stuff like that, and the defense will be fine. And they come play with their energy they did last week, they'll win. They'll hold their end up on the bargain, and do their job yet again and try to win us the game. Now, here we go and get into the offense of the side of the ball. More, but first, I'm going to start off with Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy, he needs to improve in this game, and he needs to improve from a play calling standpoint. You know, he needs to really improve from a play calling standpoint because, you know, what happened in week 1 was totally unacceptable with, you know, what he did and stuff like that. You know, it just totally was unacceptable what he did and stuff like that. You know, I couldn't believe the, you know, play calls he was doing and stuff like that. You know, I just couldn't believe what he was calling most of the time. One, I need him to stop being gimmicky. Stop being cute play calling crap and just go out there and call a fucking football game. You know, excuse my language, but, you know, call a dang game. Stop doing these cute stuff with these stupid formations and stuff like that. Okay. Trick plays, they're only good like 1 or 2 times during a game. If you keep doing them more than like 4 or 5 times, okay, that gets annoying. And we're not here to see the cute play calling trickster self. We ain't here for trick plays. When it's obvious, for like a 3rd down and 1, run the ball. And this goes to my first point for the offense. Run the freaking ball. I swear. The Denver defense, you know, gave up 85 yards rushing to Josh Jacobs. And he had 2 TDs in 23 attempts. You didn't see John Gruden going away from the run. So, you know, run the ball, Nagy. And this gets into one of my points. Now, obviously, Denver can improve their run defense from, you know, last week to this week. Vic Fangio is a genius. You know, obviously, if the Bears are looking at this standpoint and they especially watch, you know, Monday night's game, they're going to see that, okay, from what it's looking like now, it looks like we can run the ball on Denver's defense. The rookie Josh Jacobs got 85 yards and 2 TDs. Guess what that means? Run the ball with Montgomery. You know, this is one of the things that you need to do. If there is a weakness within this Denver defense of them not stopping the run, then, you know, run the ball. Run the hell out of the ball. You know, that's the one thing they need to do. If I'm seeing positive things from the running game of their AOS rivals, you know, run the ball. Just run the ball. Personally, I'd rather run the ball more in this game than pass the ball. You know, I'm going to get into Trubisky in the pass game and stuff like that. But as for Nagy, you know, stop going into the press conference saying you're going to run the ball the next week. You know, I'm going to look more into running the ball and stuff like that. Stop saying it and, you know, you don't end up doing it in the game. You know, I don't know what Nagy's infatuation with passing the ball so many times, but from what it looks like to me, it looks like when, you know, the run ain't working, or, you know, a running back gets stuffed, you know, and gets like a gain of 1 or 2 yards, he quickly goes right back to the pass, and he's like, you know, okay, and he's overthinking himself. And I think it goes to the case, sometimes he can outcoach himself when, you know, he just starts passing. You know, run the ball more of the time. If you run the ball, guess what? You'll wear the defense out. The opposing defense, you're out. You'll make them want to start sending blitz packages to stop the run. And guess what that opens? Your play action passing. To the point it can catch the defense off guard. So guess what? They can, you know, change their defense where they can keep going with the blitzing, or they can just back off and stuff like that. And, you know, it opens the play action pass, which Mitchell's a better thrower on the play action pass than he is as a drop back, you know, quarterback in the pocket. You know, get him out there. You know, if you establish the run, you can catch defenses by surprise, and, you know, open the play action passing game. You'll catch the defense by surprise and stuff like that. And Vic Fangio's defense, You know, he dials in blitzes every now and then, but most of the time, especially when he was with the Bears, he used to be back. He used to like typically be in zone coverage and stuff like that because he had trust in his D line to get to the quarterback. And the same thing is here. He's got another talented D line in the Denver Broncos, especially with Von Miller and Bradley Chubb coming off the edges. You know, he should feel confident and stuff like that about his defense getting him, so he can stay back in zone coverage. And I think that's what he's going to especially get to do with Mitch Trubisky. Now, getting into Trubisky, he needs to step his game up in this game. This is the game where you come out and you prove the critics wrong. And, you know, after that horrendous, awful performance you had last week, this is one of the games where you rebound and, you know, you have a consistent year the rest of the year to prove the critics wrong, saying you're going to be, you know, the negative to the Bears and stuff like that. You know, now personally, I would like to see him have lesser pass attempts. There's no way in hell he should have 45 pass attempts. Mitchell Trubisky ain't no dang Tom Brady where he can go back and almost throw 50 times to bring you within a game. Mitchell Trubisky ain't that type of quarterback. The ESPN Chicago radio, somebody said it best. The best thing we can hope for is he's a game managing quarterback. You know, that's the best thing we can hope for. So if that, which is kind of like an Alex Smith type of quarterback, I'll take that. An Alex Smith type of quarterback is good to see. You know, in his case, it's good to see. And again, last night, it pisses me off that we had a chance to draft Deshaun Watson, and look at what he did. I'm not gonna get into that, but you know, maybe that'll be a video like in the future. Did the Bears make a mistake on not drafting Deshaun Watson? Hell yeah, they did. You know, every time I see the Texans, I'm like, Deshaun Watson should be our quarterback, for crying out loud. But some idiot in the Bears organization thought to take a guy who only had 13 career starts. Stupid. But anyways, going back to Trubisky, this is the game where he needs to come out, prove the critics wrong, and play a lot better. And when I mean a lot better, stop saying you're going to come out and play better. No, do it and show it. Because, you know, this is your year. No excuses no more. No excuses. If you can't get the job done, then you're not our guy. We'll just move on and try to find somebody else to, you know, fill in the shoes that you couldn't hang. Or fill in the shoes that you couldn't fill up to, you know, accomplish and stuff like that. You know, this is the game where he needs to come out and prove the critics wrong. I know Trubisky, he usually says that he doesn't really focus on social media during the offseason. But my goodness, if there was anything after that Bears-Packer game, I swear, I saw social media, you know, trolling of him. Whether it was from Trevon Williams of the Packers, you know, saying the things he said, and I don't even care if he said, "Oh, it wasn't a shot at him." No, it was a shot at Trubisky. Let's be honest. Trevon Williams took a shot at Mitchell Trubisky because he knows Trubisky isn't that good as a as a you know, pocket passer quarterback. He took a shot at him, and you know, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Bears fan. I'm just saying it in general. He took a shot. Steve Young ripped Trubisky, saying on the interception he threw to Adrian Amos, he had a high school quarterback stare down. If you have somebody calling saying you have a high school quarterback stare down, I don't know what that says. That should piss you off. You know, Trubisky needs to come out with that aggression of saying, I need to prove these critics wrong. For all the haters and all the people on social media trolling me and stuff like that. No, you need to come out. And, you know, this is the game where the rest of the season, you know, he comes out on a consistent basis and proves that, you know, he is that guy. You know, don't overdo it. You know, be smart with the ball. Don't throw balls into, you know, double or almost triple covered. And another thing that goes with his passing game, you know, go through your progressions. Like, if you're staring at one receiver the entire play, I played DB when I played football. The one thing, especially if you're in zone coverage, is to look at the quarterback, mostly his eyes. And if his eyes are literally locked onto your receivers, you can basically predict where he's going to go with the ball. It's just simple stuff. And, you know, it's why he almost threw more. He could have thrown more picks in the Packer game than he did. And you already know, Vic Fangio knows Mitchell Trubisky better than he knows Like and obviously Vic Fangio knows that offense more than we think he does, and more importantly, he knows how he can rattle Trubisky. And the problem is this: I think Trubisky as a whole, he needs to stop getting so happy feet because they always show it. When he has happy feet, he tends to be throw bad passes and stuff like that. Trubisky needs to learn to ignore the pressure, settle down, step up into your throw, and throw the ball for a wide open guy. Last night, the Raiders, there was this one play, and Derek Carr did pretty decent in the passing game from what I heard, and mostly that had to do with some of his O-line, and the O-line for the Bears has to play much better than they did last week too. There's this one play I watched. Derek Carr had loads of time to frickin' throw the ball, and they showed the replay. He had literally two guys wide open, and he hit one of those guys wide open. And this goes back to Trubisky. If there's a guy wide open, don't hesitate and pump fake and not throw the ball. Throw the ball if there's a guy wide open. And another thing, don't hold the ball on too long. The more he tends to hold on to the ball too long, bad things tend to happen, because then he starts to overthink. He starts to get rattled. He starts to get intimidated, scared, and stuff like that. It's just like it's just like crazy stuff. When he feels the pressure, he gets that happy feet, and he starts getting intimidated, and and then he just forces things because he feels like he has to get the ball out of his hand and stuff like that. It's simple. He just needs to get the ball out of his hands faster. If he can get the ball, and if it starts with having like a 1-2-3 step drop throw, that's fine, and that gets him started. Like I said, the running game needs to be there to help him. For a quarterback like that who isn't that good in the pocket, wouldn't you think to run the dang ball? Like I said, I don't know what Nagy's infatuation of passing the ball with Trubisky. I think his infatuation with passing the ball is he's trying to prove, the haters wrong and stuff like that with the fact of the hate Trubisky gets. Brother, we don't care if Trubisky gets hate. You shouldn't be worried about the hate Trubisky gets. Look, I don't care. The Bears, for a majority of their history, was always a run-first team before they were even a passing team. We were always known for our great running backs. Make David Montgomery the next great Chicago Bears running back. If you're going to pass the ball almost 50 times, what was the point in drafting David Montgomery? You might as well should have drafted another quarterback then, instead of drafting running back. You might as well should have never traded away Jordan Howard. You traded away Jordan Howard to draft another back to, have a better rushing attack and, improve your running back game. But if you're not going to actively run the ball, what was the point in drafting David Montgomery? You're just wasting his time. And you wasted a draft pick, essentially, if you're not going to run the ball. And that's what I need out of Nagy, to run the ball more. He needs to run the ball more to wear this Denver defense out. And I think this is going to be a tough, gritty game. I think this game's going to be closer than, what I'm projecting. Now, the Broncos lost 24-16. And that was and they only put up 16 points against the Raiders defense. If they almost played like that against the Bears, I think really the Broncos should only really get 7 points, maybe 14. Heck, I'd be shocked if the Bears takes a shutout. And it all comes down to the offense. Another thing on the offense, receivers. I need somebody else other than Allen Robinson to get open, please. Now there were some wide open receivers, but man, if the receivers can help Trubisky out and get open when we are passing, other than Allen Robinson, do it. But some of the times, Trubisky is gonna have to take the risk when it's a 50-50 ball. Like I said, Trubisky just has to be smart where he's throwing the ball. Don't stare down a freaking receiver easy, because then corners and safeties will pick that up within a heartbeat the moment you even hike the ball. If you're looking at a receiver for like 3 seconds, the corner and the safety are going to know, oh, he's throwing to him. So, pay attention to him. I would like Trubisky to move his eyes. Go through your progressions. If the first option's not there, look like when he's going back to throw. You know, use your eyes to sway the defense. That's what quarterbacks do. They use their eyes to sway the defense. Move your head. Go around. If it's not there, the first progression is not there, go to your second one. If that's not there, if there's a third option, go there. And if everything else fails, either run for yards or check it down to the running back if the running back's out for a pass, and that's got to be, all in an instant. I think Trubisky's problem is he gets overwhelmed with so much progression, and he comes to tend to be a robot. Throw it to that guy. That's the guy you're supposed to throw to. Like it's on some Madden stuff where on Madden, they have like the red line or the, darkened colored line, of, the pass where the pass should go to what receiver. It's like, he becomes a robot and he becomes like a typical, Madden quarterback and stuff like that. No, Ninja. Go through your progressions. Use your eyes to sway the defense. If you can sway the linebackers and the DBs and stuff like that, that's a win. It's a win. He needs to sway the defense using his eyes. He can't have one stupid, lockdown glare on one receiver he's going to throw it to. The only way that's going to work is if it's a 3-step drop, really, if we're being honest, or if it's a 1-step drop. It's just, it shouldn't be that hard. He's in the second year of the offense. They're always hyping him up and saying like this. He's in this is 202 stuff. I ain't seen no 202 stuff on Thursday. Hopefully on Sunday, afternoon, we see 202 stuff. Trubisky definitely needs to play better for his sake. Because guess what? Everyone criticizes him how he doesn't show up in primetime games. Guess what? If you tend to lose this game and go down to 0-2, and it's mostly you lose the game mostly because of the offense, guess what? You're in another primetime game on Monday Night Football against the dang Redskins, and guess what? The Redskins actually looked pretty good on Sunday last week against the Eagles. And guess what? If you have another flat-out performance and fall to 0-3, guess what? Maybe that's when we can start panicking. Well, not too much, but panicking for reals. Now, if the offense does not show up at all next week, like if there's no glimpse of the offense, if it's the exact same run offense from last Thursday to this Sunday, okay, now you can maybe start panicking a bit because you're like, okay, what the hell is the coaches not seeing that we fans can see? Like I said, Nagy needs to get his head out of his butt and stop being stupid. Stop with the cute play calling and be a head coach. Have the balls to do the right play calling. So when it's time to run the ball on a short-yarded opportunity, if it's a 3rd down or 2, 3rd down or 1, 2nd down or 1, something where you can get an easy, first down just running the ball. Don't go for a stupid play action pass, or definitely don't run with Cordell Patterson up the middle. And if you want Cordell Patterson to get more touches, actually speaking into special teams, guess what? I like Shadrick Cohen as, the punt returner. If you want him to get more, returns, guess what? Maybe if you want to use Cordell Patterson in a better way, because teams know not to kick it to him, how about this? Put him in the punt game, put him as the punt receiver. Now, teams will probably still not kick it to him, but, guess what? It's better than nothing. And stuff like that, but we'll see if the Bears will win this upcoming Sunday's game, as well as we'll see if the offense will improve and see if they've improved for a week. They had a long time to think about it. They had this Monday, the coaches had this Monday to watch what the Denver Broncos can do. What's their strengths, what their weaknesses. So far on their defense, it's looking like the run game can be a problem, and the passing game can be a problem on them if you give your quarterback time to throw. If the O-line can give Trubisky time to throw in the needs when we need to pass the ball, it's a win. If David Montgomery, Tariq Cohen, and Mike Davis can all combine for over 100 yards rushing, that's a win for us. we got the running game. I would like to get the running game morely started and keep it going for an entire game. Don't focus on it for like one half and then just start passing the ball like almost 60,000 times. You know, run the ball, wear out this Denver defense and stuff like that. Like I said, it's going to be a challenging game because Vic Fangio knows the Bears offense better than anybody in this league today. Because he was with that team. He was with that offense. In practice, he coached against that offense. He knows what makes that offense tick. And guess what? You already know Banjo is going to do his best to try to stop the run because he knows Nagy is a pass-happy coach. So hopefully Nagy does not get so pass-happy and he keeps running the ball despite getting stuffed. It don't matter. If you keep running the ball, you're going to find your running backs will find creeks and holes. And you have David Montgomery, who's at Iowa State had led his conference in missed tackles. MFer, come on, run the ball. If you have a running back that led his own college conference in missed tackles, you should have utter complete confidence in him make missed tackles here in the NFL. Just run the ball, and that should be the thing. Personally, I'd like to see more rush attempts than pass attempts. Now, if it's personally, I would have this, 25 to 30 rush attempts to 25 to 28 pass attempts. That should be good, especially if you're up in a game and stuff like that. And one more quick thing to end this video off. I think Khalil Mack will have a big game because he's playing a former AFC West rival in the Denver Broncos, and he knows that Denver Broncos team better than anybody on this Bears team, and stuff like that. And he's played against majority of them his entire career. So I think Khalil Mack will have a very big game against the Denver Broncos, and really as a whole, I think he'll have big games against all his AFC rivals, or AFC West rivals / even the Raiders. So yeah, but other than that, that is my week 2 preview for Bears and Broncos and stuff like that. So after Bears Broncos, I will be making a video on the recap of what I thought of the game and stuff like that. So till then, guys, if you like the video, hit that like button. If you want more Bears content, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment of what you think the Bears should do to improve, especially on the offense side of the ball, to improve this week in preparation for the Denver Broncos. So other than that, this is Camper 15, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.